Ooh, I missed one. I'm sorry, guys. That's on me. There we go. The Bronze Age. Nope. God damn it. There we go. Bronze Age. 70 to 85. So the thing we've had to kind of reevaluate are the ages. Like the golden and the silver age is actually there's platinum, then golden. Platinum's like pre-Superman. Platinum, gold, silver, bronze, and then Bronze Age ends in 85, and because that was, God, he's saying this 40 years ago, you can't have one age last 4 decades. So we've had to kind of break that up. So Bronze Age, what do we get in the Bronze Age? Well, again, we're looking at politically speaking. We are still in the Vietnam War, but we're trying to make amends. We've got Nixon going to China, creating relations there. One of the first things we see is the X-Men, a completely new team because the X-Men were dying. Because again, it's like, what are you doing with these kids? Well, we go international. We've got Storm from Africa, Colossus from Russia, Nightcrawler from Germany, Sunfire from Japan, Banshee from Ireland, and then Wolverine from Canada. But I don't know if we count Canadians as people. But anyways, we will. Right? And then Proud Star as from America. So we get this team, and it's out of it's the second Genesis. It's what, like, okay, what can we go from here? What can we do? At the same time, and you start talking about blaxploitation in the 70s, we get we get the Falcon. Now, here's the thing. When Sam Wilson went from Falcon to Captain America, I'm not going to say it irked me, but it was the same as when Dick Grayson went from Nightwing to Batman. He made himself a hero as Falcon. And I get it. As he is Cap, I love him as Captain America. I think they've written him such a great way in the comic books. But it's like it's like, no, you are a hero already. Same with Nightwing, and then they went back to Nightwing, but you got Luke Cage now. Falcon can talk to birds. Kind of a weak power. Okay. Luke Cage, again, falsely imprisoned, experimented on. Gains superpowers. We do kind of see a slight bit of racism there, but it's also like, oh, this also would have happened. So, also a bit of truth. We get Spider-Man, the death of Gwen Stacy. Now, a lot of people will argue that the death of Gwen Stacy is kind of where they feel the Silver Age ends and becomes the Bronze Age, because it is such a dark moment for Spidey, and the fact that Spider-Man actually does kill Gwen. Sad, but it's true. Now, interesting thing here, the Comic Code Authority is still going on. All these comic books are, you can see it in the top corner right here. There you go. Comic Code. Now, let's see, what was it? 674. Congress comes to Stan Lee and says, Stan, we need to tell kids the dangers of doing LSD and acid. They're bad. And Stan Lee's like, what, any other drugs? Like, the marijuana is bad. Cocaine is bad. And he's like, okay, anything else? I'm like, well, we'll just go with pills. Like, okay, cool. So they asked Stan Lee to do an issue in Spider-Man where they deal with the effects of drugs. Now, here's the thing. Stan Lee says, sure, we'll do this 3-issue arc where Norman gets hooked on LSD and goes batshit crazy. Exactly, right? The issue was the Comics Code said, no, you can't do this. And Stan Lee's like, no, but Congress, the people we want to make happy want this. And like, but that's glorifying drugs. And Stan Lee goes, no, we're showing that drugs are bad. Okay, drugs are bad. Okay, they're bad. And like, no, they're like, you can publish these, but they will not have the comic code authority on them. And so these are the only three comic books in Marvel until we get to the dissolution of the comic code to not have them. And she's a little tidbit there. We get the creation of the true anti-hero, Punisher, Wolverine. The Punisher we will talk about in depth later on. But at the same time, DC is trying to find their voice, and they get it in Dennis O'Neil and Neil Adams, who give us Green Arrow, Green Lantern. I mean, yeah, I always felt bad for Roy. Roy is like, and has been, I don't know why, but has been DC's punching bag for forever. It's like, oh, he's a good guy. Well, his name is Speedy. We'll have him shoot up with heroin. Oh, he's happy. Let's kill his daughter and take away his arm. It's like, don't you want to be happy? Like, no, we got Dick Grayson for that. All right. So Dennis O'Neil and Neil Adams take the most liberal character they've got in Green Arrow and the most conservative character they've got in Hal Jordan and pair them up and send them across America. And it's some of the best writing because it is, hey, these people are dying. These people are fighting for rights. These people are losing rights. These are people who are trying to gain rights. Like, let's show people what is happening through Green Arrow and Green Lantern, and it works. Great story arc. Also, Neil Adams and Dennis O'Neil take on Batman and make him the Dark Knight. They go, okay, the TV show kind of killed it. How do we make him relevant again? Okay, well, we'll give him a rogues gallery back, and we'll make him a detective. We'll make him badass. We'll make him, he's got Catwoman. He's got Talia. He's, Catwoman. I mean, Batman pulls, but he's also going to fight. So they make him more like what we think of today. And then going towards the end, we get Chris Claremont and X-Men, God Loves, Man Kills. And it's the righteous indignation of a certain party hating on mutants, which I'm really interested to see which way MCU goes with it when they do the mutant saga. But the mutants have been stand-ins for civil rights, for LGBTQA plus rights, for the disenfranchised, for anyone that isn't Waspy McWasp. That is the X-Men. And I think when we see this line here, a lot of people identify with that on either as both the bad guy or as Kurt. And I think that is sad, but also true. We get some great lines. We're as God made us. Any deviation from that sacred template, any mutation comes not from heaven but from hell. We hear this almost on a daily basis. And as much as Stan Lee did want to say that, yes, here's where I based Xavier and Magneto on, it really was Chris Claremont who took that to the nth degree and said, no, these are two people who are on different sides of the same coin. It's a wonderful book, sad book, but again, history does tend to repeat itself. As we go into the Copper Age, we're in the mid 80s, and everyone is doing cocaine. No, or the safety dance. Don't know. I was 3. I was doing neither. Actually, I might have been doing the safety dance. I don't know. But what do we get? Okay, so 60s were Vietnam, civil rights. 70s were still civil rights, pushing that progressive movement forward.